Hi, good evening. GVS here. Today, that is on 7th April 2026, I am recording this video just to give you a reference timeline. Okay, I'm happy to share with you that I have launched a large cap oriented small case just about a week ago or something. So I want to present some business case for you to evaluate further as to why I feel this sector or this large cap is giving us some entry opportunities in an opportunistic fashion. Okay, so you have to do your due diligence and match it with your risk profile and take calls accordingly. First one is, as we all know, Nifty 50 largely has been correcting since September 24. Even though we had a new high in 26 and all, that is not to be even considered as a high. Okay, so in a sense, it has been correcting for almost like 1.5 years now, kind of a thing. And already there is a correction of meaningful correction of 13.5% and all till March of this year. Okay. Okay. Now, if you see large caps, and the underlying constituent stocks that form the large cap, IT is also one of the heavyweights. Not as heavy as banking, but it is the select stocks are heavyweights. Now IT has connected brutally. So obviously there are a few stocks that may become attractive at some stage, some point or the other. Okay. Similarly, oil and gas is correcting. Oil and gas stocks are predominantly large cap stocks. So some of them, not all, but one or two of them may become attractive from a large cap perspective. Okay. Incidentally, while oil and gas is a large cap sector, thematic large cap, but if you compare the oil and gas sector as a large cap and then compare oil and gas sector returns, of my small case, GVSR oil and gas, that has given 32% against 4% of the overall large cap, even from a last 1 year perspective. That is just as just to indicate that the ability to carve out a select large cap stocks, when they are offering you value, it can mean improved portfolio returns. That is the short point I am trying to say. So to come back to this large cap small case, there are so we can pick up some good value buys from various sectors like oil and gas, like IT, like FMCG, or broader some select stocks from autos, whatnot. Literally every sector has some large cap stocks, as we know. So we have to figure out and filter them based on the attractiveness for purchase. Not every stock, obviously some are traps. So you have to be very, very careful in not buying the whole market. That is passive investing. So here I have taken out around 10 to 12 stocks from the universe of 50 plus, because some stocks have large cap market cap, but because they are coming through IPO and all, they may not have yet figured in the Nifty 50. So large cap stocks can go a little bit beyond the top 50 itself. Okay, till their figure in the Nifty 50 and also suffice to say that there is a good universe to pick up from and stitch a nice portfolio which potentially can offer value buy opportunities. Okay, so that is one point I wanted to present to you. So another significant reason is when the market correction is over, it has to be complete. At least the intermittent correction should be over at some point of time. The ability of a large caps to rebound is far higher because then generally they have a market dominant position or they are market leaders in their own right in their sectors or segments or themes, as we all know. Okay, it also offers you safety of large caps at these times or where geopolitical tensions are pretty high. And my sense is it's not that one war is over and then we are all good to go. This is a larger battle between two power centers, as we all know, and sometime in future they may again plan and fight again. So the era of that peaceful rise to prosperity, which say many say US investors or some of the investors even in India have experienced, that probably is over, because there is a dogfight now between superpowers for hegemony. There is a fight between US dollar dominance and the BRICS as an alternate kind of a thing. So these are lurking tensions that are there between there, and they may manifest themselves at some point of time in future. So one has to be very nimble in staying with these even large cap stocks and all. So that is where the advisor help or a research analyst help can be handy for people who don't have time to monitor the market from such close quarters. Okay. So economy for us is strong. So the GDP story may again open up for us once some the dust settles around these Iran-US war kind of a thing. So to tell you, it's buying the market may give you average returns, but buying select stocks, large cap stocks from the universe of large cap may give you the alpha, potential alpha. So if you are looking for a little extra than what the market gives, then you have to bet not on stocks but on alpha managers, small case managers. Among us, there are plenty of us who are striving hard to generate that alpha for you. Obviously no guarantees. So you have to bet on a small case manager's ability to generate that alpha than betting on the stocks, because you may not have a very detailed view on when the stocks will fall into the value zone. So to sum up, this particular portfolio which I have stitched has about 10 to 12 stocks. The weightages may be increased gradually. I am signaling to you by taking this product live, the small case live, that I have already identified around 10 to 12. I may add more or delete one. That is a dynamic rebalancing. But suffice to say that having seen the depth of correction and time correction, we are seeing some stocks that are falling into value zone. So I may be adding weightages to these stocks in a gradual fashion, because everything may not be available on one day, or sometimes there may be a lot of time gap between the few stocks and all. Each stock has a story of its own to tell. So you have to just listen to that story, and then catch it when it falls into a value zone. So this product, so essentially it is all about, alpha is related to three factors in my assessment: what to buy, when to buy, and when to sell. Now, what to buy itself, you have a large choice, 50, 100 stocks if you have. If you buy 100 stocks, you get class average. But if you get some top ranked stocks into the portfolio, you have to beat the market, essentially. So you have to be selective in stocks based on, umpteen number of parameters. So that's about what to buy. When to buy is, of course, it's another skill. Usually the fund managers, research analysts, investment advisors, possess those skills, because they're into the subject day in and day out. Everybody can do it, but you need to spend long hours for decades together to get an assessment as to when they fall into value zone. We can't time it on that day at that price and all. That's impossible. But value zones, if you buy, then gradually you increase the weights and you increase your own investments. Then suddenly you will know when the portfolios turn green and you start making those returns. Okay. So that is the sum and substance and highlights of this product. So please read all the documents carefully before investing. Okay. We have a no refund policy. So and if once you enter into a professional contract, we expect you to honor that and stay at least for a year or two to allow your portfolios to give you that expected return, provided the market conditions support. But patience is everything in investing matters. Okay. please read all the terms and conditions, all the lot of data that is available on fact sheets and all. Plus, so and then you based on your risk profile and all, you decide. This is what we have to offer to you, because it's a new product launch after a long time. Market is giving the opportunity, to get into the large cap stocks in a select manner and in a phase manner. To whenever the market gives such opportunities, we have to grab it essentially. So if you travel with me, see, usually my portfolio returns are like model portfolio returns, but if you get in when I launch it and then sail with me, there is a chance that your returns mirror the what are gross returns we are showcasing on small case platform and all. That is all I can tell you. Don't jump into portfolios after seeing some 60% return or 70% return. For all you know, the portfolio may be in for a correction then. So, and you should not wait till I start generating the returns. That is my humble submission. That is where you have to trust, you have to bet on a winning horse, and your winning horse is your small case manager. The choice is yours. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the other side. Bye.